7 lessons of the Stoics that will change your life right now. Number 1. Bad things are going to happen. Just be prepared. Bad things are going to happen. It's inevitable. You might lose your job, break up with your partner, or get into a car accident. These are all things that can happen in life, but that doesn't mean they have to be the end of the world. Planning is key. What is the worst-case scenario? Have a plan for it. You need to have a backup plan in place when something goes wrong. Preparation solves perspiration. Knee-jerk reactions stem from not being prepared, and they rarely go well. Acceptance is also key. We've all heard the saying, water off a duck's back. When bad things happen, accept what has happened and move on from it. Dwelling on it will only make it worse for you and those around you. If you can't change or control it, move on from it. Otherwise, you are only wasting your time and making yourself miserable. If you have lost a loved one, focus on the awesome memories of them instead of their death. Why would people want to focus on the negatives rather than the positives? It just doesn't make sense. Focusing on the great memories will help with coping with their loss much better than if you didn't remember anything about them at all. The key is to make sure that you have a plan in place for when something goes wrong. It's important not only for yourself, but also for those around you that you're prepared in case of emergency situations, because bad things are going to happen. Just be prepared. Number 2. When bad things do happen, change your mindset. The power of a positive mindset is undeniable. It can help you get through the day and make you feel more confident in your abilities. When bad things happen, it's hard to stay positive. A strong, positive mindset is absolutely critical. Most people struggle with this. That's okay. It becomes easier and easier as you continue to change your input. Zig Ziglar used to say, "The person who dumps garbage into your mind will do you considerably more harm than the person who dumps garbage on your floor." He was 100% correct. If you rely on the constantly negative news, sitcom garbage, and all the other negative crap thrown at us today from television and social media, it will be impossible for you to change your mindset. Half the time you currently spend on mainstream television and social media, and spend that other half feeding your head the nourishment it needs. Begin consuming books, podcasts, YouTube videos, etc. from those who truly care about you. People like Zig Ziglar, Tony Robbins, Bob Proctor, Stephen Covey, Dr. David J. Schwartz, Jack Canfield, and Mark Victor Hansen are just a few to help you get your attitude right.
You are watching Advance Dynamix, the success channel for those with a winner's mindset. Most just coast. We strive to thrive. Hello, winners. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing and turning on notifications. And if you get something out of this, please hit like and leave a comment. Today's sponsor is Bob Proctor and his world-renowned prosperity program, 6 Minutes to Success. The link is in the description. Without further ado, let's get back to today's video.
In due time, your life will magically begin to change. It's amazing how many people don't get this. You now have the secret to a better life. Don't squander it. You'll be glad. It is important to remember situations are temporary and most can be changed. That bad things are happening for a reason and that there is always a way out. It's important to stay positive and keep in mind that even though the situation looks grim now, it will get better. You have to have patience, perseverance, and a strong mind. Those things will get easier and easier when you begin consuming the content put out by the authors we just talked about. Number 3. Only focus on what you can control. The best way to be successful in any business is to focus on what you can control. There are so many variables that we cannot control, so why bother spending time and energy on them? This is a common mantra for the most successful entrepreneurs. They don't waste time worrying about things they cannot control. Instead, they focus on what they can do to be successful: their skills, their customers' needs, their marketing strategy, and so on. You can't control what other people will say or do. You can't control the past. So don't waste your time and energy on those types of things. What you can do is control your own actions and reactions in any given situation. If you have a bad day, don't take it out on others. Just focus on what you can control to make yourself happy again. This strategy will also help you avoid becoming overwhelmed with all the tasks that need to be done, which is common when people try to do too many things at once. Number 4. Prepare for the future. Focus on the present. Relish the past. Your life is a trajectory. You are in control of this trajectory more than anyone else is. Of course, there will be things that are out of your control. These are the things you should not waste your time and energy on. With that being said, you control your trajectory more than anyone else. If you don't control it, fix that. Is your trajectory traveling the correct course? If not, it's not too late to change your course. It's never too late. In the words of Winston Churchill, never, never, never give up. This is a time to prepare for the future and focus on the present. We need to learn from our past mistakes so that we don't make them again. More importantly, learn from others' mistakes. You only make the mistakes of one person, but if you learn from the mistakes that everyone else in this old world are making, you can exponentially make positive strides in the right direction. The future is not something that can be predicted with certainty. It is not something that you can prepare for with any degree of certainty. So how do you prepare for the future? Focus on what is happening in the present moment. Be aware of your surroundings and try to be mindful of every aspect of your life. This will allow you to live in the present moment, rather than worrying about what might happen in the future or regretting things that have already happened. A very wise man once said, 90% of the things you worry about never happen. Remember that. Number 5. Mind your business. Your own business. Many people find themselves getting wrapped up in what others are doing, what others have, and what others think. If this is you, stop. None of that is your business, and by doing so, you are wasting valuable resources. What resources, you may ask? In doing these things, you are wasting your time, energy, and creativity. It's all being diverted to someone else. And for what? What do you hope to accomplish by doing so? Robert Kiyosaki said, "You are either building your dream, or you are building someone else's." Every minute you are concentrating on the next guy is a minute you aren't focusing on you and what you have going on. Additionally, thinking about what others have, what they are doing, and what they think is a great way to lead your head into negativity that includes almost half of the 7 deadly sins. Lust, greed, and envy can easily creep into your mind when you aren't minding your own business. The script for this video was written in 2022. A great example of this at that time was the car industry. In listening to all of the automotive manufacturers speak, they all kept mentioning Tesla. Why were they doing that? Because Tesla numbers were increasing at an extremely rapid pace, and their numbers were all declining just as quickly. The interesting thing is that if you go back in time and listen to Elon Musk speak, he never once mentions any of them. The reason for this is because he gets it. He understands that spending his time on thoughts about someone else is taking away from reaching his goals. He has always been completely focused on the businesses he builds. Elon once said, "If somebody makes better cars than we do, and they then sell more cars than we do, I think that's totally fine." Our intent with Tesla was always that we would serve as an example to the car industry, and that they also make electric cars so that we can accelerate the transition to sustainable energy. And I'm confident in the future of Tesla that it will do well. And I hope some of these other companies do well too. He isn't worried about anyone but Elon. In fact, he obviously wants others to succeed too. Maybe this is another one of the reasons he became the richest man on Earth. His mindset is different from most. He understands the importance of minding your own business. Number 6. Memento Mori. Remember, we die. It is said that the fear of death is worse than death itself. As the saying goes, it's better to live one day as a lion than 100 years as a sheep. But what if we could remember our own mortality and use it to make us stronger? Memento Mori means remember you will die in Latin. This phrase is often used as a reminder of death in art, architecture, and other forms of culture. The phrase has been translated into English from Latin in various ways. Remember you must die. Remember you will be mortal, and remember your mortality. The concept of Memento Mori has been around for centuries, but it was popularized during the Renaissance. The idea is that people should live each day as if it were their last, and not act in a way that would make them ashamed if they were to die. Memento Mori can also be interpreted as a reminder to enjoy life and not take anything for granted because life is short. Some artists from the Renaissance era use the Memento Mori theme to remind people about death and how little time they have left on Earth. Memento Mori is popular for a reason. It's important. It's your life. Make every second count. Number 7. What's the worst that could happen? Negative visualization is the Stoic art of consciously thinking out the worst possible outcomes in a situation, and then mentally preparing yourself for all possible scenarios. Obviously, it's not good to focus on negative outcomes, so don't do that. But be aware, be prepared, be ready. Law enforcement officers prepare for gunfights on a regular basis. They hope they never have to use that training, and statistically, most don't. But they are ready for the worst possible scenario if it happens.
If you got something out of today's video, be sure to give it a like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Click the Show More link on this video to check out our sponsor Bob Proctor and his world-renowned prosperity program, 6 Minutes to Success. You'll also find the link to get your Attitude Winners gear, including wall art, luggage covers, hoodies, and t-shirts at advancedynamix.com. Strive to thrive, winners.